Of all the people that this could happen to, I can't believe it's happening to ABBA. And I'm sure that everyone has heard about it at this point. But ABBA is going through some controversy and the internet is treating it as if he got exposed. But here's the situation. Check this clip.
I don't know, it involves people I know in real life, and that's always a weird thing. But unfortunately, she forced my hand. And so I figured I'd come up here, guys, and be real honest. I don't hate her. This is somebody I love very, very much, and I loved. And, we went through something that was very, very difficult. And it's hard for me to hate this person because for me, if I love somebody, it doesn't just go away. And so even making this for me right now feels weird. But you were just dancing 5 minutes ago. Yes, because the relationship itself fucking took so much out of me. I can sit here in front of you guys today and feel very comfortable because I gave everything to a relationship. Every ounce of me. More patience than I even fucking knew I had. And wore myself out doing everything in my body to make things work. And it just didn't work out. And breakups are always tough because you leave thinking like, what if, and this and that. But when you give everything, when you tried and you tried and you tried and it just didn't work out, it's a lot easier for me to walk away and to look back on it and speak about it because, there's nothing really much else for me to do. So now she comes out with this video. Didn't know what was happening, so it was a little blindside. I woke up at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and you guys are getting this all raw, live, unfiltered, the same way she got it raw, and that's why we're here, okay? So, why don't I just plug in the video a little bit so y'all can see who we're talking about. This is my ex, Libertine Kalina. All right, she's a Filipina, my first, my last. I like you Filipinos. You guys are awesome. You know what I mean? Her family seems really cool, so I'm going to always say positive things about the people, them. But let's take a look.
My name is Libby.
God damn, what a dramatic-ass intro. But that's who she is, okay? Now, I'm not going to spend an hour going over this whole video because I don't think it's really worthwhile. I think the main concern is ABBA, you know what I mean? She got some baby mama drama. Is that what people want to know? The allegation essentially is that ABBA's like fresh. She got a girl pregnant and he just manipulated or bullied her or whatever. Or he abandoned. And that can be further from the truth.
So as you just heard, the situation is ABBA got a woman pregnant that he had been dating and things were good for a while, but they started to get bad when she got pregnant. And I just want to play the clip of the woman he got pregnant so that you guys get the context. And here's the clip.
Hi, my name is Libby, and I was a girlfriend of ABBA from ABBA and Preach. We were together for 5 months and involved with each other for about 8 months total, but 5 months of that was a serious, committed relationship. I know when someone thinks 5 months, they think what can really happen in 5 months, but I think most would agree the first 5 months of a relationship can feel very intense and be filled with a lot of love. And that means you can feel the opposite of that intensity if things are not aligning or if things are not compatible. I'm going to be talking about a pregnancy in which ABBA ultimately walked away from, and I'm going to be talking about the difficulties and the emotionally harmful interactions I've had with ABBA. I want to acknowledge something up front, and that is, I know exactly who I'm speaking about. I know exactly who ABBA is. ABBA is articulate. He is persuasive and he is calculated. ABBA is the king of receipts. And anyone who really knows ABBA would not willingly put themselves in the position I'm putting myself in right now, unless their experience was significant enough to speak on. I'm not here to cause spectacle. This is all informational, and I'll just leave it up for interpretation.
So now you have the context, and I'll give my 2 cents. This situation is wild because ABBA's ex chose to air out her and ABBA's personal life. And she knows that ABBA is a big YouTuber on the internet and somewhat of a famous comedian in the public eye. And she name drops the fact that he is ABBA from ABBA and Preach in her video, which really shows you that all this woman wants is attention. You hear her side and you hear ABBA's side, but just to sum it up, Abba is telling the truth. This Libby woman is lying. She paints herself as a victim when in the meantime, she was the one who was being toxic and manipulative. If you guys want to watch the full videos of Abba and Libby's side, I'll leave them in the description below. This Libby woman has done so many bad things, and in Abba's live stream he talks about the stuff she did. She was toxic and manipulative, and he's telling the truth. Nobody is siding with her because Abba has so much evidence against her. You should check the comments on her exposed video. They are really going in on her. She aired out some very personal things that a lot of people feel are things that you just don't say online unless you want attention, which is something she got. She probably thought she could make a career out of making false allegations, but it looks like everything has backfired, and I think things are only going to get worse for her. I would say that I am a little disappointed because I expected better from Abba, but he does take accountability, which is something I respect, because at the end of the day, he did choose to date this woman and get her pregnant. I would say that there's a little bit of a karma to this. I find it funny that not too long after the whole Akash situation, that Abba's now dealing with his own relationship drama. Abba got a woman that he was in a long distance relationship pregnant, and based on what Abba and Libby said, I think they have only known each other for about a year or two. I could be mistaken, but from what they said, the timeline wasn't that long. It could have been much worse, but it still doesn't make anything better. He fell for her lies and believed the woman he barely knew, then got her pregnant, when he always is the one to hold other people accountable for being stupid. Which is kinda wild though. I do understand that the only reason he addressed it is because Libby went public with their personal life, and had she not done that, I don't think he would have said anything. But still, this situation is not a good look for either of them. Even though Libby looks much worse, Abba still takes the biggest hit because he's a public figure, so now everyone is talking about it. But I just wish Abba the best. I'm sure he's going through it, but it's not anything he can't handle. Bye guys.